Hi. I was just going to give you some information on the basic way that I like to write papers, and maybe this will work for you. So you start off, it's a little daunting to start off with a blank page and then think you're going to write a research paper. But you start off with a blank page and you get an idea in mind. This particular paper, we were looking at feedback orientation as an individual difference and how that affects your learning goal orientation. And so started to build the outline based on that. So the next place I usually go is an outline. And this outline can vary a little bit, because what I might do is write down topic areas that we need to work into the paper. And if I start looking through the research and start looking up articles and realize that maybe we're not on the right track, or maybe I'm not calling it the right thing, then I'll adjust as we go. So this particular paper, we were pretty confident that we were studying the right topics, looking at the right topics, because both myself and my co-author had practice in this particular research area before. So then from there, so this is just a basic outline, and then you could add in things like after the discussion you could have maybe something about limitations. Practical implications would be really important for you guys, and then also, of course, your references. This particular paper, you could see it's a full-blown research study. So this is pretty much like the option one, and you could use this same kind of format for how you're thinking about organizing your topics and your thoughts when you're writing the application paper, or even the DMAIC paper, or even the business plan. Here's the areas where I need to put stuff, and here's kind of the stuff we're going to put there. So then I'll have this outline. And the next thing I did was I started looking up research related to that. So my favorite place to get research articles is Google Scholar. I'll post a separate video on how to do the library links on Google Scholar, so you could have your full text available. And so from here I started looking up articles. So here you can see we still have these same headings here, but I'm starting to dump in the different articles that I found that relate to that subject area, like feedback orientation and personality and feedback orientation. And then I started coming up with hypotheses related to how personality relates to feedback orientation, and then a section on learning goal orientation and background articles on that, and then hypotheses based on my reading through these articles, what we were going to look at for that, and then a little bit more fancy hypotheses here for interaction. I don't expect you to have any interactions or anything. But then, of course, before we even get to doing the study, so then that's my basic outline there, and then we were able to move from there and actually perform the survey and do the study. And so where I'm currently at is I've got the introduction fairly well fleshed out, and it needs some more work on that. Then I'm working through the theoretical background, and if there's sections where I'm kind of stuck, I need to find more stuff, I'll just say I'll I'll add more here and just keep on moving, and then keep moving through here. And here's some articles I haven't quite worked in yet, and so I need to work those in. And then I moved on to this other section, wrote a little bit about proactive personality, and here's some more articles that I found as I was going through. And then here's a whole nother section that we haven't attacked yet. And then some information about how we did the measures, what kind of measures we used for that, how we did the study, and then the results. And since we collected the data, we were able to figure out what kind of results we had. We try not to be, when we're actually writing research articles for publication, we try not to be too optimistic and get the cart before the horse and think, I'm just going to start writing this huge big paper and I hope my results come out right. We do the study, and we know what our background is, and then we know what our hypotheses are, and then we do the study. And we could do this study, and it could be that nothing turns out, and nothing is the way we thought it was. Well, in that case, it's not, that article is not publishable. For you guys, it doesn't really matter whether it turns out the way you wanted it to or what, because you're probably not looking at publishing this. So anyway, go through here and then added in a little bit of discussion, and then started my references, and then I've got my graphs down here in my appendix. But that's just a little look into how I like to go about. I start with the outline, which is just basic, and then I start looking up some stuff and start building that up, and then I start writing based on that, and then eventually you have a whole paper, and all you've done is just concentrated on doing a section here and a section there. And I like it this way because I don't have to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write this whole paper now. I'm just going to write this one little section right now, and if I have to, I'll go back and refine it later, and if I need more information, then I'll be able to know where I need it. Okay, that's it. Thanks.